From the sun-drenched plains of Africa to the frozen Arctic, our planet teems with life in its most spectacular forms. But amidst these wonders there exists another crafted by humankind. Royal palaces, shining jewels of civilization, each a testament to ambition and artistry. Join us as we explore the stories etched within these architectural marvels, wander through grand halls, marvel at gardens, and uncover secrets of a bygone era. Our journey begins in the heart of Tuscany, in the vibrant city of Florence, a place where art and culture flourished under the patronage of a powerful family, the Medici. Their influence, like the river Arno that winds through the city, touched every aspect of Florentine life, from banking and commerce to the very soul of the Renaissance. And it is here, overlooking the bustling city, that we find the Palazzo Pitti, a sprawling palace that embodies the Medici's ambition and their profound impact on the world. The Palazzo Pitti was commissioned in 1458 by Luca Pitti, a wealthy Florentine banker and an ardent supporter of Cosimo de' Medici. Pitti desired a residence that would rival the grandeur of the Medici palaces, symbolizing his wealth and influence. The Pitti family, however, could not sustain their lavish lifestyle and fell into financial ruin. In 1549, Eleonora di Toledo, wife of Duke Cosimo de' Medici, purchased the palace. This acquisition marked the beginning of the Medici family's transformation of the Palazzo Pitti into a grand ducal residence. Under the Medici's patronage, the Palazzo Pitti underwent significant renovations. The grand facade, characterized by its rusticated stonework, was expanded and new wings were added. The Boboli Gardens, a masterpiece of landscape architecture, were laid out in the 16th century. They became a prototype for European formal gardens, featuring terraced lawns, elaborate fountains and classical sculptures. The Palazzo Pitti's most notable feature is the Palatine Gallery, housed on the main floor of the palace. The gallery boasts an extensive collection of Renaissance and Baroque paintings, including masterpieces by Raphael, Titian and Rubens. From the rolling hills of Italy, we journey to the sun-baked plains of Andalusia, to the Alhambra, where Islamic art and architecture reached their zenith. Perched on the rolling hills of Granada, Spain, the Alhambra stands as a majestic testament to the region's rich Moorish history and architectural brilliance. The Alhambra's history dates back to the mid-13th century. It served as the royal palace and fortress of the Nasrid dynasty, the last Muslim rulers in Spain. The name Alhambra comes from Arabic and means the Red Fortress, a reference to the reddish hue of the walls built from local clay. The Alhambra's architecture is a stunning example of Islamic art and design, blending seamlessly with the natural landscape. The oldest part of the Alhambra, the Alcazaba, served as the military stronghold. Its towers, including the iconic Torre de la Vela, offer breathtaking views of Granada and the surrounding Sierra Nevada mountains. The Nasrid palaces are a series of interconnected courtyards and halls, each more exquisite than the last. One of them is the Palace of the Lions, famous for its central courtyard and the intricate Fountain of the Lions. No exploration of the Alhambra would be complete without venturing into the Generalife, the summer palace and gardens designed as an earthly paradise for the Nasrid rulers. Here, the sound of water is ever present, cascading from fountains, flowing through channels, and reflecting the sunlight that dapples the meticulously manicured gardens. High in the Bavarian Alps of southern Germany, nestled amongst the clouds, sits a site that seems plucked straight from the pages of a children's storybook. This is Neuschwanstein Castle, a masterpiece of 19th century Romanesque revival architecture, and a testament to the fantastical vision of its creator, King Ludwig II of Bavaria. Unlike the imposing fortresses of old, built for war and defense, Neuschwanstein was conceived as a whimsical retreat, a tribute to the operas of Richard Wagner and the romantic ideals of a bygone era. Construction began in 1869, but sadly, King Ludwig would only live to see a fraction of his dream realized. He died in 1886, leaving the castle unfinished. Yet, even in its incomplete state, Neuschwanstein captivates the imagination. The castle's exterior is characterized by its towering turrets, battlements, and picturesque balconies. The limestone facade gleams against the backdrop of lush forests and snow-capped mountains, creating a postcard-perfect scene. The interior is equally spectacular, with richly decorated rooms that reflect Ludwig's admiration for Wagnerian themes. The throne hall, a grand two-story room inspired by Byzantine churches, complete with a mosaic floor, chandeliers and an empty throne platform, as Ludwig died before a throne could be placed. Reflecting Gothic design, the king's bedroom boasts intricate woodwork and a painted ceiling illustrating scenes from the legend of Tristan and Isolde. Though King Ludwig did not live to see his vision fully realized, Neuschwanstein Castle has become one of the most visited castles in Europe. Walt Disney found inspiration here for the Sleeping Beauty Castle and later Cinderella Castle, cementing its status as a symbol of fairy tales and fantasy. We journey now to the vibrant city of Jaipur, in the heart of Rajasthan, India, where a most extraordinary palace graces the bustling street scene. Known as the Hawa Mahal, or Palace of the Winds, this five-story structure is an architectural marvel, a symphony in pink sandstone that seems to shimmer under the desert sun. Constructed in 1799 by Maharaja Sawai Pratap Singh, the Hawa Mahal was not intended as a residence in the traditional sense. Instead, it served as an opulent extension of the city palace, a place where the royal women, confined by the strictures of purdah, could observe the bustling city life. In those days, the purdah system was prevalent and royal women were not allowed to appear in public without face coverings. The Hawa Mahal, with its 953 small windows, or jharokas, allowed them to watch everyday life and festive processions on the streets without being seen. Its facade, resembling the crown of Krishna, the Hindu god, is an elaborate five-story structure that mimics the honeycomb of a beehive. The most striking feature of the palace is its front facade, which is adorned with intricate latticework, ornate balconies and arched roofs. The interior is relatively simple compared to its ornate exterior. The palace comprises chambers, corridors and terraces. The top three floors are just a single room thick, and the upper two floors have only one room each, creating a labyrinth of small, narrow passages and steep ramps. The palace is built from red and pink sandstone, in keeping with the characteristic colour scheme of Jaipur, which is often referred to as the Pink City. The name Hawa Mahal is truly apt, as the structure is ingeniously designed to facilitate maximum airflow. The jharokas ensure that the palace remains cool even during the scorching summer months, providing a natural air conditioning effect. We travel to the heart of France, just 50 kilometers southeast of Paris, where we find the magnificent palace of Fontainebleau. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is a testament to 8 centuries of French history, a place where kings and emperors have walked. It was here that Napoleon Bonaparte bid farewell to his loyal imperial guard before his exile to Elba. The origins of the Palace of Fontainebleau date back to the 12th century when it was a royal hunting lodge. It wasn't until the reign of Francis I in the early 16th century that Fontainebleau was transformed into a grand palace. The Palace of Fontainebleau is a blend of Renaissance and classical architectural styles, showcasing the evolution of French royal taste over the centuries. The courtyard of honour is framed by elegant facades and the iconic horseshoe-shaped staircase designed during the reign of Louis XIII. Known for its beautifully painted ceiling and sumptuous decor, the Chapel of the Trinity was the site of royal weddings and baptisms. Fontainebleau is the only palace in France to still have its original throne room, used by Napoleon Bonaparte. The room is a testament to the emperor's grandiose vision, complete with rich red and gold furnishings and imperial symbols. Our journey now takes us to Russia, to the grand city of St. Petersburg, where the river Neva flows gracefully towards the Baltic Sea. Here on the banks of this majestic river stands the Winter Palace, a testament to the power and grandeur of the Russian Tsars. The Winter Palace's story begins in the early 18th century with Peter the Great, the founder of St. Petersburg. He established the city as Russia's new capital in 1703, and by 1711 he commissioned the construction of the original Winter Palace. However, it was Empress Elizabeth, Peter's daughter, who transformed the palace into the grand structure we see today. The palace's striking green and white facade is adorned with ornate columns, statues, and intricate mouldings. The building stretches over 200 meters along the Neva River, creating a majestic presence. The grand staircase is one of the most iconic features of the Winter Palace. Its opulent marble steps, gilded decorations, and magnificent frescoes epitomize the extravagance of the Russian court. The throne room, also known as St. George's Hall, is used for state ceremonies and official receptions. It features a stunning coffered ceiling, elaborate chandeliers, and a grand throne symbolizing the power and authority of the Russian emperors. The storming of the Winter Palace on October 25, 1917, by Bolshevik forces is one of the most famous events of the Russian Revolution. This event led to the overthrow of the provisional government and the establishment of Soviet rule. Since 1917, the Winter Palace has been part of the State Hermitage Museum. The museum houses an extensive collection of art, including works by Leonardo da Vinci, Rembrandt and Michelangelo, making it one of the most significant cultural institutions in the world. Our exploration of royal palaces now takes us to the Far East, to the heart of China, where we encounter a complex so vast, so grand, it is known simply as the Forbidden City. Hidden behind towering walls and crimson gates, this sprawling complex of palaces, courtyards and gardens was the seat of imperial power for over 5 centuries. The construction of the Forbidden City began in 1406 during the reign of the Yongle Emperor of the Ming dynasty and was completed in 1420. The name Forbidden City reflects its status as a restricted area, where commoners were not allowed to enter without special permission. The complex was the political and ceremonial center of Chinese government for centuries, housing 24 emperors of the Ming and Qing dynasties until the abdication of the last emperor, Puyi, in 1912. The Forbidden City is an architectural marvel, encompassing 980 surviving buildings over 180 acres. Its design reflects traditional Chinese palatial architecture, characterized by wooden structures, yellow glazed roof tiles and red walls. The main entrance to the Forbidden City, this imposing gate leads to the outer and inner courts. It was used for significant ceremonial occasions and grand imperial announcements. The largest and most important hall is the Hall of Supreme Harmony. This structure served as the venue for major state events, including the emperor's enthronement and wedding ceremonies. The principal residence of the emperor, the Palace of Heavenly Purity, showcases the opulence of imperial life with its intricately carved wooden beams and lavish furnishings. Located at the northern end of the Forbidden City, the Imperial Garden offers a tranquil retreat with its ancient trees, rockeries and pavilions, demonstrating the Chinese appreciation for natural beauty and harmony. We go now to the southern tip of India, to the vibrant city of Mysore, where amidst a landscape of rolling hills and lush gardens, we find the magnificent Mysore Palace. This architectural gem, a harmonious blend of Hindu, Islamic, Rajput and Gothic styles, stands as a testament to the rich cultural heritage of South India. The history of Mysore Palace dates back to the 14th century when the Wadiyars, a prominent local dynasty, established their rule over the region. The original palace built by the Wadiyars was a wooden structure, which unfortunately burned down in 1897 during a wedding ceremony. The present palace was commissioned by Maharaja Krishnaraja Wadiyar IV and designed by the British architect Henry Irwin. The Wadiyars ruled the kingdom of Mysore for over 6 centuries, with Mysore Palace serving as their primary residence. The palace's exterior is characterized by its majestic domes, arches and colonnades. The central arch is flanked by two smaller arches, and above the central arch is a beautiful sculptural representation of goddess Gaia Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, prosperity and good luck, flanked by her elephants. The interiors of the palace are equally stunning, with intricate craftsmanship and lavish decorations. The Durbar Hall, with its ornate ceiling and chandeliers, and the Kalyana Mantapa wedding hall, with its stained glass ceilings and mosaic floors, are some of the highlights. One of the most spectacular sights is the palace illuminated by nearly 100,000 light bulbs during the annual Dasara festival, and on Sundays and public holidays. This breathtaking view attracts thousands of visitors and adds to the palace's grandeur. Perched on the Seraglio Point, overlooking the Bosphorus Strait and the Golden Horn, Topkapi Palace in Istanbul, Turkey, is a magnificent symbol of the Ottoman Empire's power and grandeur. As the primary residence of the Ottoman sultans for nearly 400 years, this sprawling complex is a testament to the opulence, intrigue, and artistic achievements of one of history's most influential empires. The construction of Topkapi Palace began in 1459, shortly after the Ottoman conquest of Constantinople by Sultan Mehmed II, also known as Mehmed the Conqueror. He sought to establish a grand imperial residence that would reflect the empire's might and provide a strategic vantage point over the city and its waterways. The palace is a sprawling complex that covers approximately 400,000 square meters. Its architecture is a blend of Ottoman, Persian and Islamic styles characterized by grandeur, intricate details and harmonious layouts. Enderun Courtyard is the heart of the palace, accessible only to the Sultan and select court members. It includes the audience chamber, where the Sultan received ambassadors and dignitaries, and the treasury, home to the palace's most valuable treasures. One of the most intriguing sections of the palace, the harem, was the private living quarters of the Sultan's family, including his wives, concubines and children. It is a labyrinth of ornate rooms and corridors, reflecting the complex and secluded lives of its inhabitants. Topkapi Palace houses an extraordinary collection of treasures, including the Topkapi dagger, adorned with emeralds, and the spoonmaker's diamond, one of the world's largest diamonds at 86 carats. Nestled in the heart of the Loire Valley, the Château de Chambord is one of France's most iconic and magnificent castles. The château was commissioned by King Francis I in 1519, shortly after his return from military campaigns in Italy, where he was inspired by the Renaissance architecture he encountered. Construction of the château took place over several decades, with contributions from some of the era's most renowned architects and artists. The château's exterior is characterized by its elaborate rooftop with a stunning array of spires, chimneys and dormer windows. The central keep, or donjon, is surrounded by 4 large bastion towers, creating an imposing and symmetrical layout. One of the most remarkable features of Chambord is its double helix staircase, believed to have been influenced by Leonardo da Vinci. This ingenious design consists of 2 spirals that ascend 3 floors without ever meeting, allowing people to go up and down simultaneously without crossing paths. The interior of Chambord is equally impressive, with grand apartments that were designed to accommodate the king and his court. The rooms are adorned with intricate woodwork, frescoes and tapestries, reflecting the luxurious lifestyle of the French nobility. Surrounding the chateau are extensive hunting grounds enclosed by a 32-kilometre-long wall, the largest enclosed park in Europe. The grounds were used for royal hunting parties, which were an important aspect of courtly life during the Renaissance. Thank you for joining me on this royal tour. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more fascinating journeys around the world. And be sure to let us know in the comments which palace you found the most beautiful.